All right, hopefully we should be live on YouTube. Let me try to check my stream here. So first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from people watching from different parts, right? I try to, every week I try to come live on YouTube and maybe try to address questions here. So if you have any sort of questions, anything you wanna talk about, you can post your question in the comment section below, as you can see, and I can try to answer all your questions right now. Okay. So with that being said, let's get started with today's Q&A session. And before we do that, I have to do one small thing. All right, hopefully the audio is visible. Let me know. Sachin is here and says, hi bhai, Monday and bhai आज कैसे? भाई आज छुट्टी है इसके लिए मेरा फ़ोन गिर गया बट भाई आज छुट्टी है इसके लिए टाइम था तो सोचा आज Q&A कर लेते हैं मंडे आज यहाँ पे छुट्टी है आई गेस मार्टिन लूथर किंग हॉलीडे so yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed a session on semantic search, and I know this was a very overview that I presented, but I'm gonna do a deep dive with semantic search and Elasticsearch, Python backend. So we'll do a deep dive as well. So I'm planning a video from zero to hero in semantic search and Elasticsearch. So stay tuned for that content as well. All right, guys, if you have any sort of questions, anything you want to talk about, and it can be general, so anything you want to talk about, please post your question in the comments, and I would be very happy to, discuss about that. Just making sure the live feed is okay. Yes. All right. So, any more questions? Anything you want to talk about, or any sort of things that you want to request? Let me know by doing that in the comment section. Any sort of videos. Hey, make some contents on this or that. Or if you want to talk about any new frameworks or any new technology, we could definitely do that here. Okay. So yeah, I think so. I've been doing some, meanwhile, since there are no comments, what we could talk is I've been doing a lot of work on semantic and Elasticsearch. I was working in my company as well on semantic and this and that, a hybrid solution where you can use a word embedding model together with Elasticsearch to perform amazing petabyte scale searches, right? So it's really nice. I'm making a deep dive video as well on that. So hopefully you guys will like it. Manan is here and says, who are you working with at Whatpost? Yeah, I work as a data collection and processing specialist and Whatpost. I lead a small team here in my company where I essentially carry out backend work, front end work, infrastructure work, making POCs, helping the junior developers, creating new frameworks, internal frameworks and tools in my company. So that is what I work on. Hopefully that helps. Satish here says, please start MLOps using AWS. Yeah, sure. That's the, at the current point, I'm not much into ML, but definitely we could start learning a little bit more on that for sure. Ashutosh is here and says, hi Ashutosh. Good to see you, man. Manan says, what's your company name? My company name is JobTarget. It's located in Stamford, Connecticut. All right, guys. Any questions? Anything you want? Please feel free to post your questions here in the drop down box, and we can talk about that. Ajay is here and says hi. Hi Ajay, hope you're doing fine, man. Good to see you. I think the field of, I just wanted to say, like, the field of ML is so changing so fast, right? There was couple of months back, I think BERT was the new, or before that, I think convolution, then GANs and this and that. I mean, so many models are coming every single day. Now it's semantic search, by the way, Amazon also uses like all the big giant is using semantic search. For example, I am looking for a black watch and automatically knows that you are looking for a watch that's color black. So it's pretty amazing. I attempted a small demo with Elasticsearch. I really loved it. So yeah, we will learn more and more on Elasticsearch, as I said, with now semantic search, right? What I wanna do consider is learning a little bit on the ranking system on Elasticsearch. Excuse me. That is something I haven't explored, I think. So if I get some time, I definitely want to learn something more on ranking on Elastic. How do you rank documents and that? So that's something on my to-do list. Gauri Shankar is here and says, hi, how are you doing? Ashutosh is here. I got an internship working on OCR, sent you a LinkedIn request. Congratulations, Ashutosh, first of all, on your internship. I know you are a very old subscriber of my YouTube channel. I'm very happy to see you that you got an internship. And maybe if I haven't responded on you on LinkedIn, it's because I get a lot of requests on LinkedIn, but I'll search through your name because I know you personally, right? I mean, not personally, but through my YouTube, right? So I'll try to accept it for sure. But once again, congratulations on your internship. Very, very happy for that. So yeah. DV is here and says, hi, do you know of permanent remote jobs where we can work from foreign companies? Well, there is no like permanent remote jobs. You can get a job as a contractor, right? That's I mean, I would just look up on websites like LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor. I would just look for contract positions there. Ajay is here and says, any good book for information retrieval? I am following Manning by Information Retrieval. Any good book? No, man. I'm not follow. I usually don't read that many books. I usually read blogs and articles and stuff. So yeah, give me one sec. All right. Any more questions? Yeah, if you have any more questions, anything you want to talk about, feel free to post that in the comment box, and there are a lot of people here. We can talk about that, new frameworks, new technology. We talk a lot about Python, right? So that's the goal. All right, if you have any more questions, kindly post them in the comment box, and would be more than happy to talk about that. What I was also looking, I mean, just like out of for fun, was like, how do you how can you search from audio data set? So DV says, can you do more videos on AWS OpenSearch? So AWS OpenSearch and Elasticsearch is the same. I don't know how many of you guys know, but there was a conflict. AWS actually stole the code base of Elasticsearch. What they did is essentially they forked their repository and then they created their own version of that. So essentially now you have two versions. One is the official Elasticsearch, and the second one is the forked version, an open source version of Elasticsearch, which Amazon is maintaining. So, but they both are the same only. But yeah, I can make definitely more videos on OpenSearch or Elasticsearch. Same thing. ESPI says, any more videos coming up on AWS stack? Yes. There would be more videos coming up on AWS. I keep learning myself as well a lot on AWS. So as I keep learning and as I keep exploring new things on my company, and my work and my personal knowledge, right? So I'll keep sharing that with you guys. Ashutosh says, yes, Amazon have done that with many open source products. Yeah, I mean, they have also done that with MongoDB. They forked the MongoDB version and then they say that, then they created their own version called DocumentDB. I'm like, well, that's the thing, right? The always big fish will always eat up the small fish, right? You have to be the shark of the ocean or you can be the fish of the ocean. I mean, it's a saying, right? So Amazon is a giant, right? It's a big, massive giant. They're gonna eat the small fish, right? Like that. So they happen same thing with the Amazon products too, right? If there is any popular product on Amazon, and this is, I have watched some videos. If there's any popular products on Amazon and if they are the bestseller, Amazon will come with its own product and push that one down, and it would rank their own product up in the hierarchy. There's a lot of monopoly, right? As I said, the big fish always rules, right? The shark always rules. But yeah. Gauri Shankar says, any video plans on how you do pseudo code for applications or features? Yes, I could suggest, or I could do some videos on that. For example, whenever any new feature comes up, right? How do I as a team lead approach that, right? So I use something called sticky notes model, which, what does that mean? So there's a website where you can, put sticky notes. So for example, you have colors. Blue is for events, red is for questions. So you put sticky notes, then you try to connect the sticky notes, and then, it's a fun way to discuss about a product or a new feature, do brainstorming, right? So I can share some of those with you as well. We also do something called, at the end of the sprint, we do something called retro. So, which means, and as I said, I can talk more about that and all. I can create some videos on how we do that, right? So, yeah. Ashutosh says, yes, same thing with Flipkart. They bring it under their own brand. That's the thing, as I said, right? The big fish will always eat up the small fish, right? Amazon, Flipkart, all these tech giants, when they see a popular product, because they rule, because they have the data, right? They are the king because they have all data. They know which product is selling the best. They have all the data. So now what they're going to do is they're going to bring up their own product, and then they're going to put that product aside. They're going to knock them out from the competition. That way they increase their revenue. It's a monopoly, right? Like, always like the big fish. What I'm trying to say is that the sharks are always going to hunt down fish, right? Yeah, that's true. Same thing happened with Elasticsearch became OpenSearch. MongoDB became DocumentDB. It's sad, but that's the reality, right? Everyone is in a race of making money, and they want to crush the small fish, right? So, yeah, sad part, but all right. Any more questions? Anything you want to discuss about? I'm more than happy to talk about. Ashutosh here says a question. Do you visit system design videos on YouTube link of Gaurav Sen and pseudo code? Yes, I have not that much, but I have seen some of the video by Gaurav Sen. He's a nice Indian guy, a nice Indian dude who makes a lot of good content on the YouTube for system design. I saw one of them was for. I think it was some Netflix or something like that. But it's a nice video for newcomers. It's a nice YouTube channel for information, is what I would say, for sure. Watson Infosec says, hello, new to the channel. Welcome, Watson. Very glad that you found the channel. So this channel is all about Python programming, frameworks, anything related to Python you would hopefully find on this channel. All right. And any more questions? Seems like the chats are a bit delayed. I think there is a setting where I have turned on what's that called? Let me see if I can edit the settings on, because I think I had a, because before that there was a massive amount of chats that were coming in, which is why I turned on slow chat. Some there was I don't know much about that, but there is an option for messages, comments, rating, allow embedding, recording. Not sure where that is. I don't use much of the settings. I mean, my main focus is on learning, so I don't know where exactly is that option, unfortunately, because I see the messages are being delayed a little bit. Oh yeah, the slow mode. That's I see that slow mode is turned off, so I think it should be fine. Okay. Watson says, I enjoyed your Elasticsearch guides. They helped me a lot. Thanks. Well, thanks a lot, man. I hope that was helpful. And by the way, we do have a Elasticsearch library as well, which is published on PyPI. It's called Elasticsearch Query Generator and Elasticsearch Mapping Generator. Those are officially open source libraries on PyPI. You can find it. You can download it. So that would help you to generate queries pretty fast. So take a look at that. Might help you out. But yeah, more and more coming on Elasticsearch, as I said. I think that's going to be a new industry. I think in industry, anything for search coming in future, it's going to be Elasticsearch, man. All big companies have been using this stack. So yeah. All right. Is there any more questions? More than happy to talk about. So, any topic or any discussion that you want to have, uh, feel free to put that in the comment section, and we could, just talk about that particular topic. Gauri Shankar says, have you worked on, so he says, have you worked on Kafka connections for Jira and having a data pipeline to ES or Logstash? I have not worked, but I think it's pretty easy and straightforward. You do not need Logstash. What I would do is I would have a what is that called? Kinesis Firehose. So I would pump all the Jira tickets on the Firehose. From Firehose, then I could essentially dump that on. I could fire up a Lambda, or I could essentially dump it on a data lake or S3. From there, we can have an event trigger which can fire up a Lambda, and the Lambda would pick up that down. It would ingest into Elasticsearch. Or you could directly use Kinesis Firehose to dump directly into Elasticsearch index. But the downside of that is if you wanna transform your data, which means if you have data coming and if you want to transform it a particular mapping and then want to do that, in that case you want to have a Lambda in between. But I would really use that Kinesis Lambdas. That's all I would use. If I want to put you could dump everything into a data lake, right? S3. You could run Athena queries on that, or if you want to do migration every day, or if you want to do a real-time migration, well, you could have Kinesis Firehose, dump on S3, S3 to SQS, SQS to Lambda, Lambda to Elk. So should be straightforward. So Vedas is here and says, hi bro, what's the different thing you did with the shell scripting? And again, do you remember any amazing scripts that you may have made it using this? Shell scripting, I have used Python a lot. So I did some of the work on Docker Swarm or API generation documentation. So I use Sphinx and all that. So I created shell scripts with Python subprocess, right, to execute that commands on command prompt. So I did all that using Python, but not that much, as I said. So the true shell scripting comes when you work mostly with CI/CD pipelines, right? I haven't. That's not my area, but I have done some shell scripting with a Docker Swarm, and for example, some automating some tedious thing on my computer. Let's say whenever my computer open up, I have to open up 3 4 apps, right? For example, IntelliJ, this, that. So I wrote a shell script. Whenever the computer restarts, automatically open up this. I have a bat file. So I did all that, small things, nothing crazy, but yeah. Ashutosh here says, a little bit weird to us, but what food you cook there, and how do you manage all your life with all the course doing by yourself? Well, yeah, that's extremely great question, I would say. So I don't know much of cooking, right? So I usually try to cook, like Indian food, for example, pav bhaji. My non-Indian friends won't understand what I'm speaking, but it's an Indian food. I make pav bhaji, then I make rajma chawal. That's again essentially kidney beans, right? Red kidney beans. I have that. I do not make rotis or chapatis. Usually you get a frozen packet here of rotis and paratas. I usually try to get that. On the side, most probably, I try to have a light meal, right? So that's that. Then mostly salads and this and that. So that's that. Talking about how do you manage other things? Well, I was not used to that, right? When I was back in India, we had, my parents were helping with everything like food, clothing, washing. Well, here there's no parents, right? You gotta do everything by yourself. So what I did is I try to follow a timetable. Like for example, Saturday is my laundry day. Then grocery I do it on this time, and then I also have schedule for like food. Okay, Monday I'm gonna for example Sunday I'm gonna cook food that would last me on Monday and Tuesday, right? So I try to plan out my day pretty well. So and then for example I have my YouTube, my studies, so everything is a schedule, right? For example, after work 4 o'clock I have to go to the gym, I have to run for 30 minutes. So I try to follow a schedule. That is what helps me to get everything done. So hopefully that helps. Arun Kumar is here and says hi. Hi Arun Kumar, hope you're doing fine. It's usually I don't want to talk, but it's usually very hard with the visa stuff too. I mean, it's not that easy to get work visas, and it's just a chaos. Even after your graduation, it's a battle. It's a battle, and once the things get sorted out, I'll make a video on my experience on that part. So I don't want to talk more on that, but as I said, it's not that easy here for immigrants, right? It's hard. It's hard. So yeah. All right. Any more questions? Anything? Other questions that I can answer? I would say having a good balance is very important in life. Only working on computers, your health will suffer, right? Which is why everyone I'm saying, should focus on main three things: health, wealth, and knowledge, right? Any one thing in excess is not good, right? So I would say, try to try to go for, I know there is COVID and all in India right now, there are lockdowns. At least maybe walk or some sort of exercise, to keep yourself healthy. That is health. Wealth, try to invest in long-term ETF index funds. Wealth, knowledge, every week try to learn something new and keep up with things that you like to do, right? So it's what I would say. And of course have balance between all the three things. Varun Raj says, hi, can you tell me something about machine learning course that I can start as a beginner? Well, I would really start with the Python fundamentals. Then I would start with NumPy, SciPy. I would watch some videos on all the models that are available, what type of machine learning is there. For example, classification, supervised, unsupervised. Then I would search for all the models. Then I would go for TensorFlow, PyTorch. Then, all these things, this is what I would do. So I would go into steps and then try to learn things in a flow. Maybe a course on Udemy or Pluralsight might help you out. There are a lot of good courses. If you don't want to pay, I mean, I am pretty sure there are a lot of YouTube channels, they teach about that. So try to go with that approach. Sami Asif says, hello, hi, good to see you, man, once again. All right, we are gonna be for 5 more minutes. Has been 24 minutes, so 5 more minutes. That would be 30 minutes. Don't want to keep 30 to 35 minutes, not long, but 5 to 10 more minutes. If you guys have any more questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, please feel free to post that in the chat window on the bottom section. Ashutosh says, yes, one of my sir from incubation call was working on a Boston on his on Boston with a Boston company, did not provide some stuff for visa, and he had to come back to Jaipur. Yeah, my friend, as I said, it's extreme, and I'm repeating this, and as I said, I'll share my own personal journey on this. It's very hard to get visas, work visas here. It's not that easy. Okay, so because it's truly random lottery, right? No matter you have double masters, PhD, you work in Google or blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. The visa thing is hard here. It's not that easy, right? To get work visas, which is why a lot of talented people might have to go back, right? And as I said, once I'll share my own personal life experience with you guys, but not on this video. I'll make a separate video, hopefully when things get settled down. But it's not at all easy to get work visas, and the whole thing with the sponsorship is just messed up here. As I said, and to considering the fact, if some middle class guy, for example, like me, right, who has taken a huge bank loan back in India, who does, I don't come from rich family or wealthy family, right? So all I'm trying to say is, think about situation where someone, have taken a bank loan 30-40 lakhs, and if they did not, they worked, okay, they came to US, they did their masters, and they did not got job, and they had to go back. Think about how disastrous that would be for their career, for their mental life, right? Because you can never, you, even if you find job in India, you won't be able to pay that much money, right? What you took, right? So all I'm trying to say, it's not that easy, right? It's always a stress, right? Oh, what would happen? What if you have to go back? The thing with visa and sponsorship is extremely hard in US. I don't know about other people who but this is my own personal experience, and I'll say it's not that easy with the sponsorship and visa, because it's truly random and lottery is all I would say. So yes, it is stressful, which is why I said I try to make most out of my time, and I try to be the best of me that I can. For example, focusing on positive and learning approaches. Even if I have to go back at the end of the day, I can proudly say, well, I have gained enough experience, I have gained enough knowledge here that I could apply when I go back or whatever XYZ. But to answer your question, man, it is hard. It's not easy with the visas and sponsorship. People think, oh, we'll go US and then we'll do masters and then we'll get a job and this and that. It's not that easy. Competition is extremely high, very very highly it's competitive, right? Even if you find a job, then the thing comes with the sponsorship and visa, right? So hope that helps. All right, we'll be taking 5 more minutes, maybe 5 or 10, maybe 2-3 more questions, and we could wrap up the today's session. I'll take 1 or 2 more questions if anyone has anything. All I would say is, remember, in life, no matter you decide to go abroad, and if thing doesn't work out, don't be demotivated. That's not the end of the world, right? All I would say is, wherever you go, wherever you are, try to make most of your time. Try to be happy, right? Being happy is the most important thing. Having a mental peace is the most important thing. Learning is the most important thing. These are some of the things that I have learned over the time, right? Going for knowledge, learning, not comparing myself with anyone else, right? Being happy, staying healthy, right? So these are some of the things I would focus, or these are some of the things I would advise the young youth. Of course, learning about money, investing, right? Try to invest in Nifty 50 banks, right? For long term, that gives 20%. Do SIP, mutual funds. At the same time, focus on your learning as well. Have a good life balance between your family, your loved ones, and just be happy in your life, right? Because life is short, right? We are 25, 30, 20, 20 or 10 more years, and then what, right? So all I'm trying to say is, be happy in your life, and make the most out of it, right? So that you don't have any regrets at the end. There should not be I wish I did that, I wish I did that. No, there should be no I wish. There should be I will do this. I will do all the things you can. Make mistakes, learn from your mistakes. That's what life is all about. Okay, it's all I would say. All right, seems like we do not have any more questions. I'll wait for 2 more minutes. If there is no questions, we can wrap up the today's Q&A session. If there is a question, I'll take one last question for the live stream. But yeah, one last question if anyone has anything. All right, seems like no more questions. So I would wrap up the today's session here. Thank you very much for joining in today. I'm making a deep dive video with semantic search and Elasticsearch coming up pretty soon, where I would be guiding you step by step from zero to hero course, right? So I'll be showing you all of that on that deep dive video. But if you have any more questions, list your question in the comment section. If I haven't answered, you can send me an email. And if I haven't responded on email, which means I am not checking my emails pretty often. As always, stay safe, be happy, keep hustling in your life. With that being said, I would see you guys in the next upcoming video.